everyone. I hope I'm live. If not, I'll just be talking to myself. But thank you guys so much for joining our live. For those of you that don't know, I am TNT Luna. I take the pronouns she, her. And here at Neopets, I make videos. I respond to your Instagram comments. I'm the personality hired by the water cooler. And you can find me in all of the Neopets fan groups. So the Discord, Reddit, Neopets Nation, etc. Just some quick housekeeping before we get into the juicy bits of the live. If you guys didn't know already, we are having a premium promotion. And I know that there have been comments that this isn't the same as our annual premium sale that we've had in the past. And unfortunately, it was just because of, some limitations with the payment server. We weren't really able to do the regular discount that we do. But in the interim, while we're upgrading the servers, we still wanted to do this sort of like bonus rebate offer. And you may be asking yourself, well, I've never used premium and what's in it for me? And well, I'll tell you what's in it for you. We are upgrading some of the perks. So the first and foremost thing that is coming is that you will no longer be looking in the Space Fairy mirror because the scratch card prize pools are going to be updated. Then we're going to add a free random NC fortune cookie each month to the premium sort of perks. And finally, I know that you've maybe seen like the Jumbo Aisha plush or like all the 25th anniversary plushies and a bunch of new merch, perhaps on our LinkedIn in the background of some of those photos. If you're not following us on LinkedIn, please do. But that's why, this might be the time to subscribe because we're also going to be doing like an exclusive eShop discount and early access, hoping to launch in late June. So just wanted to get that little deal out of the way. Just some housekeeping. But moving on, since we're kind of tight on time in my mind, we've got a pretty packed live schedule today. So, we'll be joined by TNT and the Amanda Files, who is like, I'm fangirling over, and she was like, I'm fangirling over you. And I was like, nah, we can't be the Spider-Man meme. So I'll just move on to the first segment with TNT Fally about NC Pet Styles. We could just welcome TNT Fally in. If you could just clap from the safety of your own homes.
Hi. I'm here.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining. Could you just really quickly maybe introduce yourself, tell us your pronouns, and a little bit about what you do here at Neopets?
Sure, of course. So I'm TNT Fally. The first thing that people notice about me is I am Australian jump scare, as everyone watching. My pronouns are she, her. I work in the marketing team at Neopets alongside Luna, and I get to create fun content for our Neopets social media specifically.
Ooh, oh my god. I love how I'm like pretending this is all new information to me. I'm like, you work at Neopets marketing? That is so cool. But we literally have like meetings before and after this. Okay, so we're coworkers, and we actually joined Neopets within a month of each other. So I would say that we're from like the same graduating class of TNT. But since we're still fairly new to this team, Fally, what's something that happened sort of in Neopets or within TNT history that you wish you could have been a part of?
Oh, it's such a good question. There's so many points in time that I really wish that I was a part of beyond being a player. Like you just kind of get really attached to. I think if I was going to pick any point in time, if I wanted to be TNT, it'd have to be at the peak or the height of the McDonald's plushies. I was just addicted to them. Like it was Macca's, right? You got to get a Happy Meal. But when it was Neopets, I was like, oh my god, this is the best. So yeah, if I was around during that,
accurate. No, so accurate. Honestly, I wish I was like around during in which the plushies were released in the Happy Meal boxes, because now like after the fact I'm scrounging on like Facebook Marketplace and they're like $25 for this like little thing, and I'm like, not inflation. I totally get you. I really there's like a little like pink cheek that I think I have, but now I just go to Savers and hope like some unsuspecting adult has like tossed their old Neopets plushies, and I can get them. But okay, so I've actually brought you in to talk about the nostalgic pet styles, as this is the royal theme. So I just wanted to like break the ice sort of and ask you what your favorite royal pet was that we've been able to bring back.
Oh, that's a really good question. I've always had a soft spot for the Royal Girl Sephiras. I just feel like no one ever
Mm.
like I don't know, they're just so cute and underrated, and I don't think you could get them previously, or I always
Oh
liked it. I
yeah,
don't know
no,
how they were and
so
innocent
cute.
they were.
So cute, so, like so anticipated. I would have to say, personally, I think the really like beautiful, cute royal styles are great. My favorite is the unconverted royal boy Akira. I'm so scared to say Neopets names like in real life because people be like, it's not pronounced that way, but I'm gonna say Akira.
I think
Because he just
Cobra.
looks so snooty and like really mean. Like I feel like the royal boy Akira like wants to speak to your manager, and I'm very much here for it.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
real, like they feel like they're
So
really
anyway,
real.
right, right. Okay, so while I have you here, since we work in marketing, I feel like you might know some tea about the nostalgic pet styles. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So for starters, will the nostalgic pet styles ever get additional poses? People ask me this all the time on Neopets Nation and on, I've been seeing them here and there in the Reddit. So will we ever get additional poses?
So this is something that we really do want to do. The programming just isn't quite there yet, unfortunately. We're just trying to, work on implementing some alternative poses, but it's something that we're definitely working on. So like, don't worry. Like, we really do want to do that.
Oh yeah, I personally need like the battle dome poses to like come back. But really
Yeah.
good to know. Me being like really good to know, as if I didn't know this information.
So good. I'm believing you as you're saying it. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Thank you so much for working on that. And then actively, like, I'll be in the Slack later, being like, guys, like, we're working on this. Okay, so then in the similar vein as the pet poses, will pets that never got a UC version ever get nostalgic styles, like those kind of poses?
I love answering this question because the answer is yes. The team is actually working on about 18 at the moment, or no, also new pet styles for pets that never had UC versions. Some, honorable mentions would be the Vandergeyer, the Latari, the Rookie. Um, Speaking of, I mean, probably not. It's not very exciting. No one's going to care. But does anyone want to see any new arts that we're maybe working on releasing that hasn't had a UC before? Anyone? No? Comment?
Show
Luna.
us.
Like Luna, you're like, I haven't seen this.
No,
All
next
right.
slide, please. No, I didn't make this slide. Jump
Well, we didn't
scare.
know. We just
No,
saw this morning.
so
So
cute. So cute. No, I personally love how, because we're calling them nostalgic pet styles, not necessarily NCUC, it doesn't necessarily mean that the pet has to have been unconverted. It just has to be, like taking up the form of that nostalgic pose. And guys, the art team is so talented. Like, shout out TNT Faye. I like, we're TNT Faye's biggest fan. Like, this art is incredible. And I think, Faye was telling me that one of the newer artists worked on this, so it's so good. But yeah, thanks for sharing. And also, speaking of new art, we're also working on some new pet wearables for the nostalgic pet styles. So if you're on the NCC, my favorite board list 31, if you're on the NCC, you might know that, those pet wearables are very, very popular. But some of them are not really compatible when they're layered with nostalgic styles. So TNT Miss Rainbow has informed us that we're releasing very soon new pet companion wearables. I heard that there's a very slorg one. I'm already very excited for it. But yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the art and forgetting to talk. I'm so excited about this new capsule. I'm sure the NCC, like we always get leaks of these things, so I'm sure they will come out in the wild soon. But speaking of, though, I'm going to segue. Talking about some of the sleuther users who found our servers in an unreleased, possibly nostalgic, allegedly sponge Techo. I was wondering, Luna, could you maybe share, perhaps why this pet wasn't accessible, why it was found? Give us the goss.
Okay, so first off, all I want to say is that if I ever go missing, before you call the FBI, before you call the authorities, tell the Neopians, because they will find me. Like, I don't know how y'all on, like, Jelly Neo or whatever, like, guys, like, new Diework spoilers, like, guys, what's with this, like, Sponge Techo? So if I go missing, find me. Find me. The nostalgic Sponge Techo style wasn't and hasn't been activated because there is no converted Sponge Techo yet, so it's technically unreleased. And, we really just didn't want to paywall a color for a pet that doesn't have the converted version released yet. And despite my shock that Techos are in demand, couldn't be me. Could it be me? I only own Aisha's. We hope to, release this when the converted color comes out, I presume. But we're not hiding anything. That's the only reason why the little cheesy boy hasn't been released yet. Yeah, well, all right. Felly, if there are no other questions that I've written for you to ask me.
I'm like trying to take them all like subtly, and I'm just like, sorry.
No, I feel like everybody at TNT at one point has had like some sort of theater kid background. So us like doing a somewhat scripted but kind of organic thing is like we're just doing improv, you guys. Like this is just the show. But okay. Oh yes, ooh. Yes, I'm a certified theater kid, TM. Anyways, moving on to things that people probably would be completely more interested in. In addition to the code at the end of this live, we're also going to be doing 2 giveaways based on your interaction. We work in marketing. We got to get that engagement up. We got to get you guys to comment. So we will be picking 3 winners, 1 from each platform that we're streaming right now. So Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. For those of you guys in the Discord, I can't read your comments right now, but I will go and back read. Best believe I will go and back read. So make sure what you say about me is, not rude, because I'm back reading. But get ready to comment your answer to a question, and we're going to choose an entry that catches our attention to announce as the winner, and we're just going to be reading them out. So for the court jesters in the chat, can you comment a Neopets pun, and you will be entered to win a prize right now, and we'll be reading them out. To give you guys like a little bit more time, I guess I could tell you a couple of like my favorite Neopets related pun. To start off, every time I try to like pun the word bloomaroo, I just like copy whatever like RuPaul has done in Drag Race. Because like RuPaul is like, oh, welcome to the Rusical. So if you just had like Blooma in front of it, we could just kind of like steal RuPaul's brand. And I feel like the Venn diagram for like Drag Race and Neopets fan is very heavy. That I don't know. Fally, do you have any jokes that you perhaps have while we give people some time to comment some puns?
No, I wasn't expecting that answer because I didn't read your segment. You caught me off guard. I can't do puns.
Okay. I have another joke, and then we'll read some. This is just my time. I was like, I ended up reading that. No. Okay. I have another joke that I came up with last night. Okay, so what do you call it when someone is incredibly envious?
I just read the answer on your doc, and I'm
Giant jelly. I'm here all week. Okay, let me read some of these out. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I care all about sloth. I feel like you have to pronounce Dominique. You have to pronounce, Akira to do the Akira pun. That's really good. Oh, I love the Uso ones. Usuli I don't know why I decided to read these out. This is so difficult. Usuli, I'm good at coming up with jokes on the spot, but I'm flailing. So good. Oh, Bori for boring. You're the Aisha of my eye.
Oh,
Um, oh, I've been trying to get one like with omelet in there, like because omelet kind of sounds like I'm a let, like I'm going to let, but we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. Okie Kadoki. I love that one. Okay, so I think we're ready to let's see. Fally, do you have any that are sticking out to you?
Look, I liked the Piglet.
Wait, that's what we would say on the boards because we were terrified of saying like Google would get us like banned.
Yeah, even on our own personal accounts, we're like, we can't say it because we'll get in trouble.
Oh my god, Rooligan, that's my favorite. Like hooligan, but Rooligan, that's so good. That's so good. Slorgus part. Anyone who made a slorg pun immediately on the good side. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you figure it out. Okay.
Oh, I
So
saw
we
a
actually have like
TNT
some
Dom.
TNT. The what?
Sorry, I was like, I saw a TNT is da bomb. I was like,
Oh, okay, so we have picked a few winners. We have like some TNT, like some stage manager TNT members backstage, actually going through the comments and picking some. So I will actually announce the three winners now, and if you could reach out to us on our Neopets official Instagram, or any of our official channels from wherever you're watching, then we will get your prize to you. But winner number one is Leminione, Leemineon, and for your pun, Okadodi, like okay, I live. And then we would also love to. I think all the winners actually were like popping up on the screen, but for Quintas, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Google it. Classic pun, classic us on the boards when we were 11. And the final winner, I think it should pop up now for saying, yeah, they should all have popped up. So thank you so much. Drop us a DM. Now moving on. Now segueing on to the next segment. Um, so I asked TNT Fally, one of my favorite coworkers, what your favorite bit of Neopets history you could have like been a part of was. But you have actually created Neopets history on your own, because you created like three new characters from scratch. And like guys, this is so surreal. Like when people talk about the beauty of birth, I now know what they mean because watching TNT Valley like literally come up with an idea to do an avatar, like come up with the whole like scheme of how to do it, and then on top of be like, by the way, I designed three new incredible characters was insane. So I really want to ask her about that. But before we dive into dissecting your brain, TNT Valley, could we welcome our next guest, the Amanda Files?
you're mute.
Hi. Wait, Amanda, you're muted. You're muted. No, not bringing me back to COVID college.
What's up? I'm here. I am here. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my God. No, we can.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like the tables have like really turned. The turns have tabled because you're like now a guest, but you were a host. But hi, Amanda. So for those of you, for the viewers that don't know, could you perhaps let us know your pronouns and also introduce yourself? I'm sure everybody knows you and like is a fan, but for the 1%.
Yeah, sure. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm somehow a YouTuber, I guess. I still, to this day, don't really know how it happened. I went to school for like wildlife biology. I was a wildlife biologist for years. So if you ever find like a weird lizard in your backyard, you can text me a picture of it and I'll tell you what it is. And also, I can tell you all about Neopets now too, like, and Animal Crossing and stuff. So yeah, that's me. Just currently in the throes of another Neopets hyperfixation period. Don't think this one's ever going to end. And yeah, thank you for having me.
So what are your thoughts if you're a wildlife biologist? What are your thoughts on the on the anatomical accuracy of Mark with Neopets.
Oh boy. You know what? Honestly, you guys have some really fun ones there that are kind of like they're like species in real life, you know, which is really cool. Like the Norbu that just came out, that's like a Portuguese man o' war or something, and like
Ooh,
you know
I was
stuff
like
like that.
jellyfish.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They're not actually technically a jellyfish, but it's okay. I mean, you can pretend that
Oh.
like they are. Yeah, they look like it. But yeah, there's a lot of really good
Amanda was like,
ones.
yeah.
I'm like, well, I can't
Amanda
just
was
let
like, they're
her
not jellyfish, but
say
if you want them
something
to be.
inaccurate. But yeah, no, there's some good ones, and then
Um,
there's some like really tentacly ones and stuff that are just pure
mhm,
Neopia,
mhm.
which is great. I love all the new like wearables that you guys have been doing lately that are like
Ooh.
animals, you know, like the croc that's in the swamp and like you can just see the eyes. Oh, I love that. And then like you just did a bunch of other ones that I'm forgetting now, but I know that there was more
Oh
that
my
just came out.
god.
I just love it. Any wildlife moment in
Wait,
Neopets
thanks
is
for
great.
being such a fan. No. Thanks for being such a
You know
fan.
me.
And I know that, you talk a lot about like, maybe lore, you have a bunch of interest in lore and know quite a bit. But while I have you, could you maybe like let us know what your absolute favorite bit of Neopets lore is?
Oh yeah. I mean, not to be predictable or anything, but I just think Lord Cass looks so good in that picture. I love that picture of him. Probably my favorite. It's just him, just what he tried to do. They weren't ready for him yet. I consider him a hero, honestly, and Meridel to be the villains, if you were to ask me. And then also, I mean, because I know that Lord Cass is the easy answer, but I do actually like all the other lore too of Neopets. And it's so hard to pick like a favorite other than, Battle for Meridel. But I really am still to this day, 14 years later, like shell shocked by Fairyland falling in Fairy's Ruin. Like, I can't believe that
Mm.
they did that. I love it. I love that they like messed up an entire like classic land that had been that way since the beginning of Neopets, and they just didn't fix it. I love that. I hope you do it again. Mess some more stuff up. That's great.
I hope you break
Mess it
more of
all
the
up.
Neopets site. The
Yeah,
viewers are like, Amanda, please stop
mess
asking them
it
to
all
break the
up,
site. It's so laggy.
especially Meridel.
um,
Yeah.
no, literally. Well, call me Fairland because I am a falling for you guys. Anyways, moving on.
My
Moving
moment.
on. Before Fally throws up.
I know I was gonna make an eerie
Moving
pun. I was
on.
gonna be like, well, Lord Cass's story is kind of eerie, so I won't go into it, but I didn't.
I'm
But I
looking at the
actually did.
script.
I think
It's
Fally
one
finds this
episode, so
irritable.
It's okay if you do. It's
Okay, so
understandable.
I said that we would talk. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for talking over you. Sometimes there's like lag on my end of the streaming, but I will do my best to just, be quiet. But okay, so just to get into this whole Puzzle Hunters Club segment, because I have both of you here, which is like two of the people who were like in the group doing it. But just broadly for the people who might not know, Fally, what is like the Puzzle Hunters Club? What was the hunt?
Oh, okay. I don't know how to answer this, to be honest, because it's such a big question. So the Puzzle Hunters Club are a group of new characters that came out a little bit earlier this year. They came out specifically on our social media, and their whole thing is that they are a bunch of friends and they like to, solve puzzles and interact with I guess Neopets in the same way that maybe our players and we do as people, so maybe a bit more of a lens for how we are experiencing Neopia. But yeah, they're just some cool cats who are besties and work together and like to solve stuff. And it was just so surreal that I got to do it, to be honest.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
Maeve Slade.
this hunt was incredible. Oh, Maeve Slade.
Don't forget it. Yeah.
Also,
Just wanted to
I
add
guess
that.
I'll also add that we brought out the puzzles on our social media specifically for a new avatar, and so they were a really pivotal part of engaging with our community to get those puzzles found and conspiracy. We all love conspiracy theories. I love the puzzles side of it, even though I'm terrible at them. I just respect that they exist. So that's where they came in. And I hope like it was my first kind of go at doing something like this on our socials. I just wanted to have some fun. I wanted to, show the community that we can be fun on our socials because we're players and we want to kind of bring it to the forefront. So that's where they came in. Yeah.
No, we're so lucky to have you, and also, I think you're just so talented. I have no comments, no notes. Thank you, Chef. But I know that some of those clues were like pretty cryptic, and like there was a small group of Neopians sort of like writing that. But Amanda, I know that you were sort of in that Discord group chat. Could you maybe tell us a bit about the process you might have witnessed for the clue writing? Anything at all?
Yes. I was definitely a witness. I'm not good at puzzles either. So I had nothing to add when it came to like coming up with the clues, but just watching people whose like brains work and they could do that stuff and they were like making up the clues and stuff. I was like going through all of them and I was like, oh, I would have never thought of that. They're never going to think, nobody's ever going to figure that out. Like you guys, this is too hard. No one is ever going to figure this out unless you go to like MIT and give them this. Like maybe they'll figure it out. But lo and behold, like they figured it out before it was released sometimes. Like they were just figuring it out. It's amazing that people can do puzzles.
No,
it's incredible.
No, that was my bad. So guys, for those of you that were like actively doing the hunt, I was never supposed to drop the screenshot specifically of Grundo's warehouse. I did not know that like Amanda had been working on a clue to reveal that it was Grundo's warehouse, and then I was just like, guys, I got my avatar. Like, no, no regret. Like that wasn't a clue.
It actually, honestly,
that was the biggest trouble.
I've come to like, I've realized that I think it worked out for the absolute best, if I'm being honest. Like, I really do. Because I feel like people had already kind of figured out that that was Grundle's warehouse, which is kind of like a, it was something that they would have come to the conclusion of anyway, because it's one place where you can enter things. And so I think it was really quick that Fally drew those signs, right? Like you just drew them, like, as if you just can do that. I mean, you're amazing. And it was just like over the course of a night. And I just like threw them into my video really quick. And I feel like that was an actual clue that was not released yet, that nobody had figured out yet, that I could actually give out. So that worked out. Because I was like, oh,
that in your video.
Know. Oh yeah, no, I was so happy to have like something to do and hide. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it really hard. And then like I made it a little too hard because Fally was like, are they all in there? I couldn't find them all. And I was like, is it too hard? I'm sorry. I was trying to make it hard.
Amanda,
really I promise. Here's the time signature.
Timestamps.
the timestamps went crazy. Also, yeah, Fally just like so talented. I'm so grateful to have you on marketing because totally like every day I'm terrified that the art team will like literally poach Fally and I'll just like lose my buddy. But you personally drew and designed 3 like whole new characters to be a part of this Puzzle Hunter Club. Like she had sent me the line art and I was like, this is cleaner than Bleach. Like this is so clean. So could you tell us about your process for designing?
Sure, I will. We'll come back to this slide, I think, as well, because I want to give a shout out to the person who made the avatar. But I'm just going to go.
Yeah. It's
Just going to go over to this. So so some of the process for me is, I know this is going to be such a boring answer. I just have the idea, the visions, the characters in my brain, and I'm like, I just got to get this out. And then in terms of this project, I had a pitch, I had an idea, I badgered the hell out of TNT Aesop, and I was like, can we please do this? Like this, we have this avatar coming out. I really want it to be something more than just an avatar coming out, and I want to have some fun with it. Like I just had this idea, and I was determined to kind of make someone let me do it. And I just drew them, and then I sent them to TNT Aesop, and he passed them on to the art team, who that would be TNT Faye, among other people, and had a big call about it. And they were just like, what have you done? In a good way. They're just like, what have you done? You're just a marketer. But I was like, I got to do this. I got these characters. They've got to come out. So yeah, I got everything approved on that front, and they basically just like let me go crazy, and I'm so grateful. Like I had so much fun. Like I got to name them. I got to decide which colors they were going to be. I had to have a Darrigan goth girly. Like that was non-optional. And when I was creating these characters, I wanted them to kind of represent like different things that we kind of all have in ourselves a little bit. That sounds so philosophical. I'm so sorry. But like, you know, you can relate to parts of Maeve, you can relate to parts of Birdie, and you can relate to parts of Max, even if like, you know, they're so different. I really wanted to bring them together as a team and have fun with it. And I love rainbow cougars. I just love them. So I just wanted like this sweet goofball, and, you know, the whole process was just an absolute pleasure and delight. I'm still like giggling over it, to be honest.
You're amazing. I love them all so much. They're so perfect.
No, literally. Yeah, you're incredible. And I guess, yeah, I'll just toss it back to Amanda. What was it sort of like to be a part of the puzzle hunting community while it was happening on Discord? Like, did you see any crazy conspiracies about the, you know, the clues? Was there, you know, I think I saw, like, my favorite part was seeing fan art for Fally's characters, but what had you seen, whether it was in like the clue hunting or just like the community itself?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was awesome just having information that nobody else had. I love that. I love doing that. I love just like looming over everyone and being like, they don't know that I know. Like, I love that feeling. Doesn't really put anything into the community, but I just appreciate you guys telling me secrets sometimes. I really do. And yeah, it was just awesome, like seeing where people bring things, because again, my brain does not work like that. So the fact that they're figuring it out at all, but then they're also going on these other like crazy, you know, hunts through different things. And I'm like, that's like how your brain works. That's amazing. Or like, I think at one point they were looking at like Birdie's freckles and just little things like that. Like even, oh my gosh, this was so funny. In my video, they're like, quick, what's on our bookshelf? Like I see Junji Ito, and like, I'm like, no, that's just my bookshelf. Like, and then they're like, look on the walls. Like, is she acting normal? I'm like, it's like, I hope I didn't have
no, people were like, that was so crazy. Like people were like, social avatar, social security number. The code is Amanda's social security number. Everybody, can we get on that and put that in? Can we brute force that into Grono's warehouse? I was like people like looking into the books on your shelf. That is crazy. Like I'm never gonna partake in a hunt because the spider's a plant. Like
right. Is it a real spider or is it a fake spider? Oh, it's moving. It's real. Yeah, it was amazing seeing people like just analyze every pixel of my videos. And then, oh my God, there was this, oh my God, they had like, I think 400 and something screenshots of my videos. And they were like, do you think Amanda wants these? I was laughing so much. I was like, yeah, sure, you can send them all to me.
Do you think Amanda wants these? Is crazy.
Can I just delete them or should I send them? I'm like, I love looking at my face. Please send them. Me mid-sentence. I love that that's my favorite look.
Yeah,
great.
No,
I love
that's that's crazy. No, people, the devil works, but the people who need an avatar from Neopets work harder is all
Don't
we have to say.
them,
But speaking of this avatar and the final design, you know, can we talk about it? You know, Fally, I know that we all wanted to credit the creator, but yeah, Fally, how did this avatar happen? How do we get this design? What's the tea?
I've got the tea. First, before I get into it, quick shout out to our guild member Nostalgia, who knows that we can't do puzzles, so helped us make some of these puzzles. She's incredible. She needs a shout out. She's amazing. Anyway, onto the avatar. Oh my God, the avatar. Where do I go? Firstly, Sosu, our community ambassador who designed this avatar, is an avatar god as far as I'm concerned now. That's just a reality. When we decided to do this avatar, we really wanted people to vote on it. And I think going into that, we knew that that was going to be a tumultuous experience for the outcome of the avatar, I think is a good way of saying it. It was going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It was going to have a lot of personality and quirks. And I was here for that. This was the first Puzzle Hunters Club. It needed to be a whole thing. So we had the shape voting, we had the text voting, and we had who was in the avatar. And I know some people hate this avatar. You either love it or hate it. I love it. Like I saw it and I was like, this is brilliant. when Sosu made this, I was like, you took these three elements that frankly have no business being together and made them look incredibly.
Right, like never give him a computer ever.
No, never.
No.
Get him offline now.
Yeah, Sloth canonically having like an old dial-up, like
Such a cult waiting to happen. It's awful.
So this is a whole journey. When he sent it to me after the like voting, I was just like, like, oh my gosh, oh my Fiora. No, Sosi's amazing. I can't believe he did it, and he did some other concepts.
So talented.
So these hopefully, look, no promises. I would love to have more avatars come out for the puzzle hunters in different ways, but at the moment we just want to show you some of the concepts that Sosu made for us as well when we were like thinking about it and before we decided it was a vote. And this avatar is phenomenal, and if you haven't got it already, please go and get it. Sorry, I'm just looking at the avatar.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, speaking of, new avatars or perhaps, like, something we want to see in the next avatar hunt, Amanda, is there anything as a player that you would like to see in a future hunt, perhaps? Or just a future avatar?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I love the Puzzle Hunters Club. I love all three of them so much. These are like my new blurbos for sure, especially Maeve. I've said that a million times. So I want to see them come back, of course. I would love to see, like, I know this was the social media campaign hunt. So it was like, if you're on social media, then here's your avatar, social media addict, but I think it would be cool to have them like on the website on Neopets, like maybe showing up in little like, hey, we're looking for this, and maybe like having the design portion happen on the boards or something, or have them go to different lands.
Right.
Like, I just think the possibilities are endless for them. I just want to see more of them. I love them so much. So yeah, whatever they choose to do, I will follow them to the end. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so glad that we had, such a great first run. And now that we're like looking back on it, we've actually got some really incredible feedback sort of compiled by, our ambassadors and our own witnessing of the event to take into the future iterations. Should Fally bless us with her artistic talent and time to do another hunt. But yeah, thanks so much for this. All really good comments. Thank you, Amanda.
Of course.
And really quickly, super quickly, Fally, is there a retirement date for this avatar?
Yes, so this avatar is going to be retiring on June 15th. So please go and get it. Tell your friends. I know that people were a little bit nervous about sharing the code when they found out, but don't have to worry about gatekeeping. Share that code, get that avatar, enjoy that sloth online doing nefarious things. And make sure you do it before June 15th, because the Puzzle Hunters Club and all of us will be focusing on other things. Ooh,
ominous. Yeah,
I love other things.
We won't gate. Yeah, we love other things. The code, no need to gatekeep it. No need to gatekeep our LinkedIn, you guys. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Do you really love Neopets if you're not willing to risk your if you're not willing to tell your boss? Consider that. This seems like a great time to get into our second giveaway. Same mechanics. We're going to pick 3 winners, 1 from each platform. The winners will pop up on the screen. TNT Lily, who's like behind the scenes doing all of this, has just notified me that if your comment pops up, you're a winner. So reach out to us to get your prize. So we'll be giving out a royal wedding ring. No, this is not a proposal. No, this is not a proposal. But we've got a question for you all to answer, and maybe Amanda and Fally, you can answer this to give people some time. But comment the name of a royal figure in real life. So from Beyonce to Barry B. Benson, who is royalty to you?
Gerard Way. That's my answer, I think. Is that wrong? Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance?
Guys, I'm Birdie. I'm not Maeve. Like, I'm the Birdie of the group. Like,
I was thinking about answering. Sorry, I was burning out.
That was so quick. I just had that ready to go. Wow.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't listen to My Chemical Romance. I'm the Birdie of the group. Like, I'm like headcanon. Birdie definitely knows like the paparazzi VMA dance,
right?
But like
Dua Lipa, maybe.
Dua Lipa. Birdie has seen the Eras Tour 6 times.
Right. Swifty. Yeah, Birdie is totally a Swifty. Maeve's at the
Oh,
concert for
Brittany
music.
has said Britney Spears. Brittany, you're
Mhm.
a winner for shouting
Yeah.
out another Brittany other than yourself.
Yeah.
Good on you for sort of sharing the space. Yeah, if there are any other Lunas out there, you're not my royal figure, is all I have to say. Sally, do you have anyone for us? Do you have
Well,
any?
see, I don't know why, but my first instinct was to say Cher. I don't know why. I was
Yes,
like, who's
I agree. It's a great
I
one.
mean, Pound Chat Techo has already said Lady Gaga, Queen of the Gays, so we can also toss Cher in there. You know, it's a
exactly.
very iconic space at the moment. Pound Chat Tico, please DM us on X. You're a winner. You're a winner, baby. Yeah, let me try to think of my. No, I can't literally mine has to be climate. No, Shrek is incredible, guys. I recently went to Universal in Singapore to meet Shrek. Incredible. Oh, Chloe Westergaard, Mia Thermopolis, you're a winner. DM us.
Yes.
So many. Oh my god, someone said New Jeans. Okay, K-pop fans, we see you. And immediately after New Jeans, Freddie Mercury. We have such a diverse group of audience.
Yes, Freddie Mercury. Yes.
Okay, guys. Wow. Yeah, thank you so much for entering our little impromptu giveaway. And everybody, if you could from your homes, even though we literally can't hear you, thank Amanda so much for giving us her time to be here. And go check out her YouTube. She's incredibly talented. She's very funny. She's got live spiders in her room. She's got books on her shelf. She can take 400 screenshots. So we love having you here and hope to have you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me, my friends. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye, Amanda. Okay. Now moving on to we are doing okay on time. Phew! Imagine we have a meeting after this. So could everyone now, for the last segment, please welcome to the stage our favorite CEO, the man who signs my paychecks, TNT Dom.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's first time hosting an AMA when I'm in Toronto, so it's good.
Oh my gosh! Wow, Canada represent. What about Australia and what about the rest of our locations? Canada.
It's okay. We'll rotate once a month, so let's see where I'm
Oh,
next.
good.
But
Yeah,
I'm in Toronto to visit
yeah.
my family and also here to check out the TCG cards.
Oh, I'm
oh my
so
gosh,
excited.
so exciting! So you're visiting your real family this month, and then next month we'll be able to see you. Am I reading between the lines correctly?
Well, July I'll be in San Diego for SDCC. Next month I haven't decided yet. Let's see.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see. We'll set out some traps to lure Dom in. But okay, thanks so much for coming to the AMA. I know you might have been expecting Kevin or Amanda. Also, Dom, I prepared my Neo hood. I thought you would wear it. I thought we could be twins, but I guess not. But I guess we'll just go straight in.
Not enough luggage.
If there is a next time. Guys, on camera, Dom could not fit Neopets in his carry-on. Very upsetting. Very upsetting. We'll be telling the Neopets that this happened.
But okay, yeah, I guess we could just TCGs I'm bringing back.
Ooh, so excited! Yeah, I know it's only available in Canada right now, but you guys, for those of you who are curious, it will be available globally, and we hope to share that date with you as soon as we can. But okay, getting into the questions, Afali, do you want to kick us off and ask Dom the first question of this AMA segment?
Yes, let me just crack my knuckles. TNT Dom, what are the fixes currently being made to the Battle Dome in conjunction with the new plot?
Yeah, so I guess maybe I can talk about the new plot first. So I know it's been long awaiting. We've been teasing about it, but the new plot will be coming in 3 weeks' time. So June 17th is what we're slated for the new plot. And coming along with the new plot are a couple of fixes with the Battle Dome, which we've been saying that Battle Dome will be an integral part of this new plot. So for the very least, we'll be bringing Battle Dome to the HTML5 format template, so that like for desktop, it's a lot more playable. we'll be fixing a bunch of issues with like the freeze potions, also like a bunch of bugs related to foresight, stealing, and UI. So I'm personally super excited about the new plot. It's something that we've been planning, and it will go on for a while, kind of like all over, all across our 25th anniversary. And yeah, I'm very excited about this, and excited to share more when it comes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is so exciting. I know that our Battle Dome community ambassador is, would be very excited to hear these changes and fixes. So yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. And I guess moving on to a second question, that's I guess I would say a little bit meta, but one of the top voted questions this week was asking sort of the point and significance of these AMAs. The users feel that anything hasn't been made in terms of the bonding area, despite our attempts to do a sort of task force. I guess when they say like you haven't done anything, they mean like the royal you, as in everybody in TNT. But yeah, could you maybe just share about that?
Yeah, I understand the frustration that there's still a lot of things that could be worked on for the site. As we've pointed out, there's like over 100 things on our to-do list, and kind of like getting feedback from the community, getting feedback from our ambassadors. But we've been trying our best to churn through kind of like the list. A lot of things that we've been working on for the past few months are less visible to our player base. For example, the new plot that we've been planning, it's been one of our biggest effort, and we haven't launched a new plot in close to 10 years. And with a relatively small team, we've been kind of like trying to jumpstart this process. And also, like we've been doing a bunch of security updates. So part of the botting problem has been solved, I would say, but we are seeing more ways that we can do better. For example, we're looking at implementing a new capture for the upcoming Altitude Cup. I saw some comments asking
Mhm.
about whether we'll have an Altitude AC Cup this year. Yes, we will. We postponed it a little bit. It will begin in July. So that we can kind of like make way so that we can launch our plot first, and then the AC Cup would come afterwards. So and then we're for as part of our fix for the botting problem, we're implementing a new capture system, and we'll test that
Mhm,
with
mhm.
Altitude Cup. And then as if it's reasonable, and if it's like if it goes smoothly, then we'll look into using that for other features as well as part of our a fix to the botting problem that we're seeing on our site. But apart from that, I would
Mhm,
say
mhm.
it's probably unfair to say that we haven't done much. But I think the major point of these AMA is that we want to build a very community-centric culture in the company, and Neopets is all about the community. The community has kept us together, and that's what made us survive all these years. Even the brand has been neglected, the game has been neglected, but the community has kept us alive. So we very much understand that we need to stick together to make this work, and that's a big part of why we're hosting these AMA. So even though I'm kind of like in the middle of with my family vacation, I'll still take time to commit to these AMAs to make sure that we answer to the community and give the best update possible, and also continue to report back and make sure that we're making the right progress.
Mm, awesome.
Good answer. My turn. I've got a slightly easier one for you this time, Dom. I was wondering, can we please, get another charity corner event with some perks?
Yeah, so I guess I think our product team has been looking into this, and we did kind of like part of the charity corner event is has been the recycling event, and
Mhm.
we had that in our fairy festival last year. So I think it was very well received by the community. Though there are like some hiccups in kind of like the implementation, but we've definitely been listening to all the feedback. So we're probably going to continue to doing the same or something similar this year with our fairy festival with a recycling event. But if there's other parts of the charity corner event that you'd love to see, or you think that should come back, definitely leave us a message, let us know, comment, so that our product team will continue to improve and optimize what can be included in the upcoming very festival.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah, guys, like let us know we're listening, and even though, the list of things to do is so long, it will get taken into account and added. Um, and then Dom, I know you sort of mentioned the Altador Cup happening in July. So just again, for people who might have like missed it, when is the Altador Cup 2024 happening? Do we have any dates we could share?
Yes. So I think it's going to be in early July. I'm not sure about the exact date. I think it will be,
Mhm,
yeah, probably the first week of July. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Awesome. Yeah, all I know is that for those of you doing staff tournament, you better pick me and Fally. Uh,
And yes, my question is, so how is the Outdoor Cup going to be improved this year? I want to know the answer to this because I play badly every year. So
Yeah, so I think a few things. So we're gonna rebalance the rankings and how it's work. But I think there's an interesting thing that's happening with AC this year is that we'll be adding a new team. I'm not sure if we've kind of like sneak peek that, but we can guess what might be the new team. Feel free to comment below. But we do have like new TNT faces joining the tournament as well. So that would be fun. So I think it would definitely be something different. We hear concerns about like how the top prices are being re-released, and it's something that we'll evaluate. Previously there are some other type of complaints. I think we've addressed a lot of those in our previous AMAs as well. So yeah, so the new team, it's going to be. I guess people who've played our new mobile game, Tales of Tacardia, would probably understand that the new team would be that.
awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for talking about, the Altador Cup, when's it happening, and how we're working on improving it. I believe that there were just delays in it because it's going to coincide with the plot. Right, Valley. Like that's the yeah. So for those of you who are worried about it, don't worry. It's all interconnected, and you will have a ton of fun. But moving on to the next question, it's about the quest log, and the question is, why should we spend time collecting when items are just going to be added to the quest log?
Yeah, so I guess so as part of like rotating the prizes on the quest log is one way for us to combat the inflation problem that we're seeing in the game. And previously, the quest log items haven't been rotated for kind of close to 6 months. And then we understand that we need to rotate a little bit more often. And recently, when we say that it's going to be 1 month, there's also a lot of feedback. And I think we're finalizing that from now on, the prize pools will be rotated every 2 months. And then, so for the current price pool rotation, we'll delay it until July 1st. And I think that's kind of one way for us to reintroduce a lot of these items and make it more accessible for a lot of our users. We understand the concern that for some of the collectors or people who've been getting a lot of these like very high price items as part of the collection. I think the goal for us is that we should be introducing new items so that these collectors have a kind of like a new goal that they can like strive to achieve. But I think what we're trying to do with rotating, like adding new prizes or kind of getting these prizes to be more accessible in the quest log, is to get our user base a chance to kind of like get these items that hasn't been obtainable in the past decade. Yeah, so that's kind of the main reasoning behind it.
I'm still
Yeah,
taking all that information in.
but
Sorry.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Fally, do you have the next question, perhaps?
I do. I'm just making sure I can bring it up. Oh, thank you, TNT Lily.
It's not even a question. It's just a comment.
Dom, just FYI, bring back the defenders of Neopia.
Well, I guess yeah, that's a tough one because like bringing back Defenders of Neopia will be a very big team effort because it's pretty much tied to the setup of the old Battle Dome. We have been looking on like exploring how to do it, but to be honest, this is of a lower priority as of now, so we probably won't be able to get to it until like much later after we churn through a
Mhm,
lot of
mhm.
the other initiatives that has a higher priority. But I guess as an alternative, the new TCG expansion pack is actually themed as Defenders of Neopia, so maybe that would be a good fix in the meantime while we wait for us to churn through this.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Yeah, we are always constantly working on like so many things at a time. Defenders of Neopia, another popular request is people are asking, are there any plans to raise the trading post and auction Neopoint limit?
Yeah, this is actually a great question. We actually got this from like suggestions from our community, from our ambassadors, and also from our internal team. So it's an item that's also kind of like on our to-do list, but we haven't had really have time to look into it. I forgot what might be the main hurdle for us to implement this. But I would say this is something that we can start looking at like later. So currently the team is like all hands on deck and trying to in launching the new plot, which is coming up. That's kind of like one of the major event that has been happened. We haven't launched a new plot in like close to 10 years. So I think that took up a little bit more of our bandwidth than we originally planned. So a lot of these like things that are on our to-do list just haven't been cleared. But yes, this is something that we're aware that we should fix.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, sometimes it gets really tedious to just do like 2 million neopoints at a time on a trade. So players, I hear you, I feel you. And thanks Dom for sharing how we're working on it. Yeah, Falia, I feel like we're like this is like the Neopets challengers. Like you are served.
Yeah. Mine's a bit of a long one. So, Dom, are there any plans to make it so all of the accounts on a Neopass have access to the same safety deposit box, the same bank, the same owned NC? So the Neopass was advertised as connecting your accounts to make things easier, but it feels like a bit lackluster and not worth it at the moment coming from a current Neopass user.
Yep. Yeah. I guess the Neopass version that we're currently seeing is it's kind of like just like step one of this whole a big like infrastructural change and upgrade. So it's been a very significant system upgrade for us. And although this is only the version one that we're seeing, there's actually a lot of new features that we've been planning. For example, like with our launch of the Tada, and also like you'll be able to earn like Neo points when connected with Neopass. So it's kind of like a gateway to connect the Neopets ecosystem together. And also like the Fairies Hope relaunch will be coming as well. So it's another mobile game. It's kind of like these two games has been in our library, and we're trying to revamp it, and so that we relaunch it as a tool for us to attract lapsed users to come back, but also attract new users that might be interested into joining the Neopets ecosystem. So it's pretty integral for us because these are kind of like the content that we need in order to build up our licensing business and also build up kind of like the whole brand for Neopets to help us survive and be sustainable for the next 25 years to come. So that's why like we have been allocating certain resources on some of these newer initiatives. Although we understand that for our core user base, sometimes like these are kind of like adjacent initiatives that we feel like might not be the most important to the classic game. But I would say a lot of these updates are necessary, or a lot of these like investments are necessary because we need to plan for a brighter future for Neopets. So that could hopefully generate kind of like revenue and new revenue streams, and also new interests and new kind of like followers and new players for the Neopets ecosystem, so that we can have the right resources to also invest into fixing a lot of the features and also upgrading the classic site. So that's kind of like a long-winded way to say that Neopass is kind of just the first infrastructure layer to really connect this and really being a foundation for a lot of much bigger things that would come to the Neopets ecosystem. And also, like I'm not sure if we teased this before, we've been like working also to relaunch our eShop so that we can also connect the e-shopping experience, the direct to customer e-commerce site of ours, so
Hmm.
that we can launch more merchandise that we've been sneak peeking to our community, and also linking that with the Neopass is also the next step, so that like
Hmm.
you can use your Neopass to also kind of have your shopping history and also earning rewards. So that's kind of what Neopass is about. But of course, like all these features that we can potentially add to it there's a limitless opportunity where we can improve and kind of like get more using Neopass to help replace certain features that we're supposed to revamp and kind of like upgrade on the classic side is also something that we can do now that we have this foundation.
Yeah, totally. I guys, I know that Dom's mentioning, eShop and merch sneak peek, and if you haven't seen the giant, I believe, well, ooh, I don't know the metric system, but a giant Aisha plushie on our LinkedIn. There's a photo of Beeg holding it. But I'm very excited for the potential of Neopass and especially, just the new shop launch. But in the vein of changes to Neopets, the next question is the next comment I would say is please introduce a way to change username and pet names. I love my pets and my account, but 10-year-old me was not very creative. I think it would be fair to make it an NC item. So yeah, that was a long comment. So yeah, do we have a way that we might introduce to change username and pet names? What's going on over there?
Yeah, so I saw the question that suggesting that we can have an NC item to let users change our username and pet names. So it's part of a bigger project that we're looking into that we previously commented about in our I think at the past AMA, where we are also kind of like coinciding to plan for a purge. So if we were to release a rename, kind of like item or things like that, we might as well kind of like do a purge so that more names would become available. So that's kind of our thinking behind this. But a lot of these, we're still trying to look at the most efficient way of doing it. So the current main blocker is that it's kind of related to the spaghetti codes that we've been talking about. So this specifically is actually related to the database design. So I would say a lot of our database is not very dynamic. So that when we change or update a username, making sure that it's a unique identifier, but also making sure that the right name is called, and then changing all the database that are related to these username and pet names are actually not as clean or easy as we thought it was. So that's one of the major blockers. It's related to kind of like the just very inefficient database design that we have. So yeah, so how we're going to execute it, we're still studying, and as I mentioned, it will be something that we will have start having more resources to look into it after the plot release and after the AC Cup, sorry, Outdoor Cup is coming out. So I think that will give us more bandwidth to look at some of these things that is top on our to-do list.
I've got the next question. Dom, TNT Dom, where is our brand ambassador, John Legend?
That's a good question. I think he is either in New York or maybe in Vegas for his residency. I'm actually not sure, but we do have been in contact with his team, planning for some of kind of like what we can do together in the next few quarters. I think a broader question related to that. I know like the community has been trying to like. There's a lot of memes created. There's a lot of like question behind why we have like John Legend as our brand ambassador. I'd like to clarify like some of a lot of these like relationship with John Legend has been pre-existing, and it's also kind of like grandfathered in from NetDragon's relationship. So to be honest, it's not something that the new team is invested heavily in. A lot of these are kind of like leveraged because of the NetDragon relationship and also because of like previous arrangement. So it's not like we're spending or kind of like taking away a lot of the resources from instead of like hiring more team members or trying to like fix more of the like, classic site or invest into like other parts of Neopets, and then we spend it on this ambassadorship is actually is not like that. So I've been seeing a lot of comments like questioning the decision here. I'll just say that this is this I think John Legend would be great for our ambassadorship, and I'm sure what we're cooking up would help us generate a lot of attention and a much needed kind of like brand uplift for kind of like the broader community and building Neopets as a kind of like as a revival and telling that story. But yeah, but but rest assured, we're not like not we won't be taking away any resources planned for the revival of Neopets because of this ambassadorship.
Yeah, imagine it, guys. It's like, imagine if it was like a black and white decision. It was like Keyquest or John Legend. Yeah, very, very good to know. You know that John Legend has not absorbed my paycheck or Falley's paycheck or anything coming to the site. But we do hope to see a little bit more of him soon. But
No, that would
speaking
definitely
of
come.
things that people want to see, yeah. Speaking of things that people want to see more of, highly requested. We get this every AMA, but people are saying we need more pet slots, especially with the release of new pet styles. Dom, thoughts on pet slots?
Yeah, so this is something I would say it's definitely of a higher priority compared to some of the other questions earlier. So the team is actively looking into this, and adding new pet slots is definitely something that we have been talking about and trying to design a good way to launch it. I would say the main reason why it hasn't been done yet is because adding new pet slots with a very poorly designed database actually becomes a much bigger effort than we originally
Mhm.
thought. And then also related to that is that because adding new pet slot would actually become a much bigger burden on our server side type of requests. Technically, I'm not sure why, but this is kind of like one of the findings our team has been coming back with is that like because like there's a lot of manual calls and if there's like one more pet slot on many of the accounts, then that would actually caused the site to lag a lot more based on our understanding. So that comes with how we do our server upgrade, which to be honest, it's been one of the biggest cost item for us. And then we understand that improving the server performance and making sure the site doesn't lag as much is definitely a top priority. So while we're fixing that and then adding patch slot would actually makes it harder for us to achieve the performance upgrade. So we're kind of like doing it hand in hand, making sure that we have a better solution to launch this before we do it so that it doesn't kind of like make the site lag even more, which I'm sure all of us don't want to see.
Last
The lag
question.
is the lag is crazy. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Fally.
No,
Your
you're,
turn. Last
we have
question. Ooh.
so we talk over each other all the time. Sorry. Our last question is when oops, I'm gonna show it again. When when are the ambassadors rotating because some don't do anything?
Uh, so I'm not sure if that's true. I would say probably that's a misconception. So the community ambassador program has always like there's a lot of happenings behind the scenes, and each ambassador might have a different role that the community that might not be as community facing. So in terms of our internal working relationship with our community ambassadors, there has always been a lot of like back and forth, like great feedbacks and great exchanges of ideas. So yeah, they're always the first to highlight any problems, concerns, and then they're advocating community feedback to us. So a lot of questions I asked today has overlapping with kind of like requests and comments from our community ambassadors. So I'm seeing that they're a very integral part to help us gather kind of feedback and to make sure that we're making kind of like great like decisions or judgments based on these feedback. So yeah, so I'm not sure if why people are saying that we're rotating ambassadors. I think we still have the same ambassadors, but of course, like there probably will be changes maybe closer to the 1 year mark of the launch of the ambassador program, but not at this point. Yeah, yeah, and I would say
Yeah,
I think
totally.
more
Also,
most
yeah.
yeah, most recently, for example, like one very vivid example is like how like the Punch Pop Sid is actually a request suggested by the community ambassadors, and then something
Mhm.
that we found that oh it's a fix that we can actually bring back relatively easily. So that's something that we've did. So yeah, I think that that's a good example of how like a program like this help us identify things that we might have missed ourselves.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the question we got said that the ambassadors don't do anything, but we definitely don't feel that way. And their primary, goal is to collect feedback and give it to us, which they're very good about. As we all know with Neopets, it just does take some time to implement those things, but we're very grateful for them. But yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Dom, for joining us from Canada. And I guess we'll get to what everybody's actually here for, which is the giveaway, the prize code. So this is the exclusive prize. Guys, don't all swap at once. You have until the 31st of May at 5 p.m. So go ahead and go get your little guy, your little buddy. And we will see you at the next live. If TNT wants us back hosting, otherwise, if you don't see us, if Kevin's back, come find me. It means that Kevin has taken me out. But yeah, thank you, Dom, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.